If you've built a faceted chart in Plotnine, you've probably run into this situation. The labels on your subplots are the raw values from your data. This is fine for exploratory data analysis, but not fine for a presentation. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how one Plotnine dictionary turns those raw values into labels a reader can actually understand. I'm importing two items for this project, polars to display the data as a data frame, and I'm importing Plotnine with a wildcard import, which is the convention that the Plotnine docs use. The data set is economics long, which ships with Plotnine. It arrives as a pandas data frame, but I'm going to wrap this into the polars data frame here purely because I prefer the way polars prints. There are 4 columns in this data frame: a date, a column with the variables, the values that correspond with those variables, and value 0, which rescales each series to a 0 to 1 range. Notice the shape, 2,870 rows. This is in a long format, 5 economic series stacked on top of each other. So here's the chart. ggplot gets the data and the aesthetics mapping. Date is on the x-axis, the value is on the y, and we're using geoline to draw the series. The important piece here is facet wrap. I'm splitting the column by the variable column, forcing a single column of subplots with in column equals 1, and I'm setting scales equals to free y. The last argument's important. These 5 series live on completely different ranges. Population is in the hundreds of thousands, the savings rate is a small percentage. Putting them on a shared y-axis would flatten the most of them into a straight line. Free y gives each facet its own y-axis scale. So here we have 5 subplots from about 6 lines of code, but look at the strip labels across the top of each panel. PCE, POP, PSARVT, those are the raw values sitting in the variable column from the data frame. And Plotnine is printing them exactly as it finds them. So let's talk about dictionaries, because that's the fix. A Python dictionary is a set of key value pairs. You write it with curly braces, and then each entry is a key, a colon, and then its value. I frequently use dictionaries to create small data sets. Here, each key is a column name, and then the corresponding years, and each value is a list of entries in that column. When I have a larger data set, I'd create or import a CSV file. A dictionary shaped this way drops straight into a data frame, and here I've used polars data frame function. And this gives me the traditional table view. Pandas takes the same structure. But that's only one use. The second one is what we're here for. So how do you get custom labels into a facet? Remember, a dictionary maps a key to a value. Point it at your facets, and each key is an old value, the raw name that Plotnine is currently showing, and each value is the new label you want in its place. So we can do this old to new. If you've renamed columns in polars, you've already used this exact pattern, where we use the rename method. It takes a dictionary of old names and uses it to convert to new names. So it's the same idea applied to facet labels instead of columns. Here's the dictionary. The old values are on the left. The new label is on the right. One detail on something I'm using here is the \n. That's an escape sequence for a line break. These labels are long, and without it, they get clipped. So this splits each one across 2 lines. Now let's get back to the same plot. We've got the same ggplot call, same geoline, same facet wrap, except labeler now points at my custom labels. 2 other additions. I'm using the scale x date time with the date labels equal to this %y, and this cleans up the x-axis so it shows years instead of the full dates. And then I've set the theme with the figure size equal to 6.6, and this gives a chart with more vertical room, and this is nice since the 2 line labels need more space. And there it is. Every panel now tells the reader what they're looking at and what the units are without a legend or a caption. One dictionary, one argument. That's the whole change. And the same old to new pattern you've used to rename columns and polars is now being used to clean up your facet labels. If you want a fuller guide to getting started, I've written a book called Getting Started with Python on Windows 11. It covers the Jupyter Lab environment, data manipulation in pandas and polars, and building visualizations in Plotnine. If this was useful, a like helps the channel, and subscribe for more Python aimed at marketing business professionals. See you in the next video.